Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down the insane, high-speed world of Formula One. So if you've ever caught a race and thought, what is going on here? Well, you've come to the right place.
Okay, let's just start with this, because it really says it all. We're not talking about your average car here. These things are basically fighter jets that just happen to be glued to the ground. They are absolute technological marvels, pushed to the very edge of what's possible.
So what is Formula One, really? I mean, at its heart, it's the absolute pinnacle of motorsport. And that word formula, that's key. It literally refers to the rule book, a super strict set of regulations that every single team has to play by. Think of it as a global battle of speed, human skill, and some seriously mind-blowing science. All right, so let's start with the big picture. What actually makes this the pinnacle of motorsport? Well, it's because it's so much more than just one driver crossing a finish line. It's this season-long war fought on two fronts for two huge prizes.
Yeah, that's right. They're fighting for two championships at the exact same time. On one hand, you've got the Drivers' Championship. That's all about the individual hero, the pilot in the cockpit. But then there's the Constructors' Championship, and that's for the team. The hundreds of engineers and mechanics who build the winning machine. Both are a massive deal.
Okay, so let's zoom right in. The whole season is built out of these individual events, the race weekends, and each one is called a Grand Prix, which is just French for grand prize. And let me tell you, every single one has its own unique rhythm. It's this really intense 3-day dance. Friday, that's all about practice. Teams are out there just gathering tons of data, trying to figure out the car. Then Saturday is when the pressure really starts to build. It all leads to this huge battle just to decide who starts where. And then, of course, Sunday is the big one. It's race day. But let's talk about the most important part of Saturday, because it is absolutely crucial. It's called qualifying. And honestly, it's pure nail-biting drama. This is not another practice session. Nope. It's a high-stakes knockout showdown against the clock. Where you finish here determines where you start on Sunday, so a great qualifying can literally put you on the path to victory. So here's how it works. It all starts with qualifying 1, or Q1. All 20 cars hit the track, and they have just a handful of minutes to set the absolute fastest lap they can. And when that clock hits 0, the slowest 5, you're out. Your day's done, and you're starting at the back of the grid. Okay, so the 15 who made it through move on to Q2. The slate is wiped clean, everyone's back to 0, the pressure just gets cranked up another notch, and they go do it all over again. And you guessed it, at the end of Q2, the next 5 slowest are eliminated.
And that leaves us with the final 10, the top 10 shootouts, Q3. This is it. This is the battle for the biggest prize on a Saturday, pole position. That's the #1 spot on the grid. And for this, these drivers are pushing their cars and themselves to the absolute ragged edge, all for that one single perfect lap.
All right, fast forward to Sunday, race day. The cars all line up on the grid exactly where they qualified. Then you hear that famous phrase, it's lights out, and away we go. For the next 90 minutes or so, it's just a flat-out sprint. But wait, it's not just about driving fast. There's a mandatory pit stop for tires, which means the crew in the pits are just as important. We're talking 2, maybe 3 seconds to change 4 tires. A stop that fast can literally win or lose you the race. Now, you might be thinking this all sounds like pure chaos. And it is, but it's controlled chaos. And that control comes from a simple system of flags. The race marshals use them to talk to the drivers. See a yellow flag? That means danger ahead, you gotta slow down, no passing. See a red flag? Whoa. Everything stops, the race is halted. It's basically the language of safety when you're flying around at 200 miles an hour. Okay, so we get the structure of a race weekend now, but how do you actually win? Well, it boils down to this perfect blend of 2 things: the car itself, the machine, and the brains behind the operation, the strategy. First up, let's talk about the car. I mean, this thing is an absolute engineering marvel. You've got this tiny 1.6-liter hybrid engine that's somehow pumping out over 1,000 horsepower. That's insane. Then there's the aerodynamics. All those wings and bits aren't just for show. They create this incredible force called downforce that literally sucks the car to the track, letting it take corners at speeds that just shouldn't be possible. And then you have cool tech like DRS, a little flap on the back wing that opens up to give a speed boost for overtaking. It's wild. But here's the thing. Having the fastest car is no guarantee you're going to win. And that brings us to the second part of the equation, strategy. I love this quote. It's chess at 200 miles an hour. That's exactly what it is. You have these brilliant strategists sitting on the pit wall, making split-second decisions that can completely change the outcome of a race. And they're playing this constant tactical game. For example, a big one is the undercut. That's when you decide to pit for fresh tires before your rival. The idea is you use those super fast new tires to gain enough time to jump ahead of them when they finally pit. Or do you do the opposite, the overcut? You stay out longer, hoping you can build a big enough gap while they're stuck on their older tires. These are the kinds of decisions that can win or lose you a Grand Prix in a heartbeat. Okay, let's pull back and look at the whole season again, because every single Grand Prix is really just one battle in a much longer war. You don't win a championship with one race. You win it by being consistently great all year long. So how do they keep score? It's all about points. You only get points if you finish in the top 10, and as you can see, winning gets you a huge haul, 25 points, while 10th place gets you just 1. So this system isn't about one-off miracle wins. It's designed to reward the drivers and teams who perform at a high level, week in and week out. And at the end of the year, whoever has the most points, they're the champion. And just to make things a little more interesting, there's a little twist. You can get 1 extra bonus point for setting the fastest lap of the race. But there's a catch. You only get it if you also finish in the top 10. Now, 1 point might not sound like a lot, but believe me, when championships have been decided by half a point, every single one counts. And who are the ones fighting for all these points? Well, you've got the absolute titans of the sport. Iconic teams like Ferrari, McLaren, modern giants like Mercedes and Red Bull. And behind the wheel, you have these superstar athletes, legends like 7-time champ Lewis Hamilton, the current force of nature Max Verstappen, and so many other incredible talents. It's the rivalries between these guys that creates all the drama. Which kind of leaves us with the big, fascinating question at the very heart of Formula One, doesn't it? Where is a race really won? Is it back in the factory, with the thousands of engineers building the perfect car? Or is it won out on the track by the genius of the driver and the strategists? The truth, of course, is that magical, chaotic, beautiful space right in the middle. And that's our explainer for today.